Let me start this off by saying that if you haven't been watching these playoffs, then I think you're truly missing out. Similar to how the playoffs started last season, the physicality is up and there is some serious animosity between many of the matchups. That includes chippiness, trash talking, and full-on fights. Speaking of which, the physicality of this game was top-notch, as LeBron and Anthony Edwards going at it in the first half was awesome, and it gave me some serious Kobe and Carmelo vibes in the 2009 West Finals. Jaden McDaniels was also all over Luka Doncic. And then you had LeBron and Rudy Gobert going at it, where Gobert was given a flagrant foul for this blow to the back of LeBron's head. Now sure, there were a lot of free throws taken in this game, but most of them were warranted based on how physical the two teams were playing. Now I've got to mention something. At 40 years old, LeBron has been playing like a defensive monster. And let's be honest, he's been pretty strong defensively throughout the entire year. It's something I've noticed. He had a lot of quality strips, he had some key blocks, and we even got a signature block by James Call by Mike Breen. I was thoroughly impressed with how he was playing on that end of a court at this age. With that being said, you can't really speak the same way on the offensive end. Sure, he had a great stat line, but it was a completely different story down the stretch. On the night, LeBron had 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. But in the fourth quarter though, LeBron was held scoreless, and the Lakers blew a 10-point lead in that final quarter. Now sure, everybody who doesn't like LeBron's just gonna say he choked, but I think there's a lot more to it than just that. The Lakers starting five played the entirety of the second half. Not one of them went to the bench one single time. On one hand, I like the fact that JJ just played his best guys for the entirety of the third and fourth quarter. But at the same time, Luka is coming off of a stomach bug that clearly affected his play. And LeBron is 40 years old and is playing with energy on the defensive end of the court in his 22nd season. If you're not giving LeBron a single minute of rest in the second half, and then he ends up with a bad fourth quarter where he isn't even in the action of many offensive plays, can you really be all that surprised? I understand that the Lakers are playing for their season right now, but even with everything on the line, I think it would have made more sense to stagger LeBron and Luka's minutes to keep both of them fresh. That's all in the past now, and the Lakers are facing a do-or-die situation in Los Angeles on Wednesday night. Now on the Minnesota end, Anthony Edwards was an absolute monster, as he had 43 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. 16 of his points came in the fourth quarter. Just like the first round of last year's playoffs, Ant is doing it yet again. The guy is taking over and is starting to get some people to consider whether or not he's a top 5 player in this league. Beyond that, I just continue to be impressed with this young superstar. The way he carries himself and the way he speaks about his guys, he just seems like such a great leader. In the post-game interview, he immediately gave his teammates credit and humbly called Naz Reid the most clutch player on the team, despite the fact that Ant himself has been taking over time and time again. Now, let me address some realities with my fellow hurt Laker fans. When the Luka trade went down, we gave up our defensive anchor in Anthony Davis. And although I thought it was worth it, my big concern was our rim protection. We tried to address that with a trade deadline acquisition of Mark Williams, but he failed the physical. And as a result, the Lakers were doomed to have a very underwhelming center rotation. Now fast forward to these playoffs, and the Lakers are absolutely getting killed in terms of the points in the paint. In Game 1, the Wolves won that battle, 44-32. And then in Game 2, the teams tied in the Lakers' lone victory. Then in Game 3, the Wolves won the battle yet again. This time, it was 56-26. And then, in yesterday's game, the Wolves won the battle yet again, 48-30. This is exactly what I was afraid of, and what I predicted to be the Lakers' downfall this season. The blame game is already out of control. Some people are blaming JJ Redick. Of course, the people who constantly hate LeBron are blaming LeBron. And many LeBron fans are even blaming Luka, and saying they would have won if they had Anthony Davis instead. No, I'm not even joking. If you're a LeBron fan, then please, don't be doing this. Because it makes you all look bad. Luka had 38 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. And overall, he had a solid game. He was not the reason we lost. The reality of the situation is that it's simply a make-or-miss league. Austin Reaves had a great look at a 3-point shot as time was expiring, and he had been hitting that type of shot up to that point, but he just missed it. LeBron and the Lakers looked like they had a chance to win the game when they were trailing by just 1 point. But because they can now use instant replay, the foul was called on LeBron in the Lakers' last defensive stand, and Ant extended the lead to 3 by hitting both free throws. If just one of these make-or-break plays happened differently, then we're having a completely different conversation right now, and we would be instead talking about what the Wolves did wrong instead of the Lakers. But you gotta live with it, because it is simply a make-or-miss league, and one play can be all the difference. Listen, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if the Lakers are gonna make a comeback, they are in somewhat of an ideal position for comebacks. You're returning to Los Angeles for a must-win 5th game, and then the real test is in Game 6 back in Minnesota. If they can somehow steal that contest, then they'll have all of the momentum in Game 7 back in LA. It might feel like it's over, but with LeBron James and Luka, you can never count them out. So those are just my thoughts, but what are yours? Do you blame someone specifically for the Lakers' loss? And how do you think they can get back in this series? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.